Hello, kindred spirits. In this week's video, I'm going to be sharing 2 cozy recipes. We're going to take a walk around historic Deerfield Village. I'm going to share some new products with you. We're going to see a bathroom update, and I'm going to share a little secret that I've been holding since last year. I hope you enjoy. Let's see how far I get without getting interrupted. Every time I start, and this is a good thing, I have a contractor ask a question. If I can confirm something, measure something, place something, go get something. So I've been wanting to cook and bake and do fall crafts. I haven't been able to, but hopefully in this video, I'll get a few of those things done, at least 2. So today, right now, I'm going to be prepping to make a red roasted tomato soup. The recipe was from our 2015 issue of New England Fine Living. There was a modification. I made this and I followed the recipe that was given to us by the chef. It called for 2 cups of extra virgin olive oil. That was way too much. So I had to do a little finagling and figure things out myself because I think he forgot to change that bit of oil when he was sending it off for us to use in the magazine versus for a large restaurant amount. I'm going to follow this recipe, but right now today I'm going to be adding a little extra of the pepper, a few extra Roma tomatoes, since we have my stepdaughter with us tonight, and I want to make sure we have extra because this is that good. It's so delicious. So what I want to do is go over the ingredients, but this recipe is online with all the steps, but as you see, it's very, very, very easy. So we of course have some red peppers, Roma tomatoes. It calls for a red jalapeno pepper, but I didn't have that, and I went out to the garden. I actually went to my wheelbarrow. I had a few little extra mini jalapenos left, so I'm going to use this instead. It calls for 5 cloves of garlic, and then I'm going to do 3/4 cups of extra virgin olive oil. And then for fennel, it's supposed to be fresh fennel. I didn't have fresh fennel, so I put just a 1/4 teaspoon of fennel seeds in some warm water. They've been sitting like this for about an hour. These are all going to be blended together. I just want to have that little bit of the sweet anise flavor, so hopefully that will work. And then for sugar, I just want to confirm here, it said a 1/4 cup of sugar, but this looks like a little bit more than a 1/4 cup. I just want to confirm that. Have my little cup here. I just want to make sure I don't make this too sweet. It's a 1/4 cup. All right, I knew what I was doing at that point. And then we're going to be making also an herb sachet. And what I have together here is I have some cheesecloth, a little bit of twine, and then I have some coriander. It's supposed to be coriander seed. I didn't have seeds, so we're going to be using crushed coriander. It will probably go through here, but that's okay. And then we have more fennel seeds. I have some red pepper flakes. I have some peppercorns, thyme, and rosemary from the garden, both dried. It's supposed to be fresh, but I have the dried. And then I have bay leaves. Now, if you're using dried herbs from your garden or from the pantry, keep in mind that dried herbs have more flavor to them than fresh. So you want to adjust those amounts. And the reason being is that all the water has been soaked out of the herb, leaving that intense flavor. So let me start prepping this. I'm going to be cutting the tomatoes, the peppers, getting the garlic ready, the jalapeno. They're all going to go into a roasting pan with the olive oil and the sugar, and then I'll make my little sachet. We'll pop it in the oven, and then I hope to get out to the market to buy some items to make a maple walnut bourbon cake. It's something that I found online, but I'm adding my little touch of bourbon. And I'm not sure if I'll be able to make that today because of all the interruptions and my needing to be elsewhere sometimes. But my hopes are to make it today, and then later today or tomorrow, I have a craft that I just want to make for myself. And if it works, I'm also going to share it with you. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to start prepping this, and then hopefully floors for the bathroom are going to be delivered today. Things are really moving along in the bathroom. I should be able to also show you a quick video on things that are happening there. And you're probably bored of the barn, but I'm going to show you. The barn's getting painted, at least trimmed out right now, so we're excited. All right, so one thing I did want to share is if you see my Instagram feed, I recently purchased a book, and I wanted to share the book with you because I liked the look of it from the exterior and I liked the whole concept. But when I was flipping through it, well, instead of telling you about my morning, let me show you. It's starting to get light out, but I wanted to share something with you. It's a little unsettling for me. I have a book here, and I'm not even going to give it any type of credit, marketing, or anything. And I want to share with you why. So I got this particular book because it had a theme that I did a video about, and it sounded interesting. Well, I got the book the other day on Amazon. It arrived, and I started flipping through the pages, and I saw some similarities, not only to the video, but also I was seeing some things in here that reminded me of some other pictures that I've seen elsewhere on the internet. Now, let me take a step back. This book says the author is an interior designer and that the work inside the book is all of hers and some of it is AI generated. It looks like a fake interior designer photo. The name is nowhere on the internet. The publishing company is nowhere on the internet. Nothing. But when it says that all the work inside this book is that of the designers, I realized that was not true when I saw some of the photos, especially this one. Now I know the picture is dark here because I'm sitting fairly in the dark, but I'm flipping through the pages and I come along this photo. Does anybody recognize it? That's my photo. This is my work. This is what I did for a client, one of my projects. This was taken in my house in Groton. And then full of typos. So I realized that this whole book was generated by AI. And I was just like, it's turned into such a sad world that we can't even buy books and not know who created them, if they were created by a human or not. This one obviously was not, and it's a little sad. It's also sad that myself and a lot of other interior designers and content creators had their work used and taken. So it was a little unsettling, to say the least. And I don't find it unsettling because, you do what you got to do. But I have been, as many of you know, for years, way too long, wanting to produce a book. And truth be told, I've only told a couple people this. I was approached by 2 publishers. One of them got to the point, and this was just last year, one of them got to the point where we came up with the concept, we came up with, the whole business plan was done, which would mean I'd have to stop doing YouTube videos. I would have to close the shop for a while. I would have to travel all over New England. And I started thinking more and more, and I'm like, that was really not the plan I have, because I already have quite a bit pulled together for a book, actually for several books. And I think right now, before I forget to ask, one of the books is mostly text. It's more of a lifestyle, slow living, enjoying your surroundings kind of book, and just enjoying life a little bit more. And I'm not even going to share the title of that, but there's that, or the coffee table style book, which is what I really wanted to do. And I'll tell you, the one that the publisher wanted me to do was Christmas. And stepping back a little bit, the story to me is a bit funny. I got an email from an editor of a well-known publishing company. And we started chatting, and I was definitely intrigued, and it was exciting, and it was, hey, they were wanting to create a book with me. So I worked with this editor for, I think it was a couple months, and we came up with the concept that would work for them. And at first we thought it was going to be the 4 seasons. She said, well, let me go to the publisher. I'm still learning all the different avenues of who does what. So I'm going to go to the publisher and talk about this with her, because the publisher didn't even know that we were in discussion. I guess she goes into the publisher's office with the proposal and starts talking about it. And the publisher said, wait a minute, this is Linda Davis. She says, yeah. New England Fine Living. She's like, yeah. She goes, I follow her on YouTube. She had no idea that one of her editors was chatting with me. So if you're watching, I'm still, I'll still think about it, but at this point, I don't know. But it was very funny that she watches us. She's a kindred spirit. And here she is getting a proposal from her editor that she and I created. So that was interesting. But in the long run, I didn't want to stop filming. I didn't want to close my store. I wasn't prepared to drive around New England and start all over with photos, which was pretty much the request. They wanted me to, I believe, reach out to a lot of other content creators, take photos of their properties and their homes, and also Christmas around New England so that it would be ready. It would have come out already. I think it was going to be a 2025 summer launch to come out for Christmas. I, at that point, was feeling a little overwhelmed, as always, and I just started thinking more, and Ben and I talked it over, and we agreed. I've published my magazines. I love it. And here's another thing I forgot to mention. I would have no say on the layout. None. It would be following a template of one of their other books. And I like the creative process. I love editing videos. I loved laying out the magazine and working with my graphic designer to bring my vision to life in a book. We sat and we chatted, and I think the route that I go is self-publishing. I think my first book would be more of a following book. I love fall. Fall in New England, quintessential, right? And then I love Halloween. But it wouldn't be a lot of Halloween. It would be my following, just the hints and touches. And we'd have the recipes in it. And some of you got my little hint last week when I mentioned about the recipe. So yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts on that. I keep thinking I was going to take time off to create it. I didn't realize that we'd have the issue with the house like we do. It's almost done. We're getting there. The barn is almost done. And I now have help at the office in the warehouse. That has been a huge thing for me. So I'll have more time to work on it and go from there. Another change when it comes to business is our Christmas box will be launching very soon. It will be available for purchase, and we're going to send it out. I don't have the date in front of me. I believe it's the beginning of the second week of November. We'll send them out. And those on the newsletter will see and read, oh, there's no seeds in here because it's such a baby. You'll see and read that we're gonna have 2 different boxes with 2 different prices because we had an issue with deliveries, damage of products came missing, and now they're sold out. So we're doing 2 boxes as of right now. They will be identical, but the deluxe box will have 1 more item that the next phase down doesn't have. Let me get out my 5 cloves here. And we're also going to be bringing back the subscription boxes. So whoever is interested in those, they will have the option of reserving at least 4 of the boxes. And we will have more throughout the year that we will be offering. But we definitely have 4 that we've created the theme for already. And we're already buying for those. Okay, so I have those right now put together. I'm just gonna put this aside. And then I'm going to now create my little sachet. All right, I just wanted to clean up a bit, and you know what? I took out some of the jalapeno because this was more of a really spicy soup, and tonight I don't think I want it as spicy, so I just have one of the littles cut in half there, and that's what I'm gonna try for now. That's what's great about this recipe. You can modify it in many different ways. I'm also going to just put in my other ingredients right now, which are my fennel seeds. Just get those in there. Like I said, they've been softening as much as they're going to right now. Would have been a lot better if I did it overnight. And then I'm going to put in the sugar. And then I'm gonna put in the olive oil. I have my oven preheated already at 325. Right, so I'm gonna just put this aside, and then I'm going to now make my little sachet. I'm hoping my cheesecloth is wide enough. It should be. If not, I'll just cut another piece. All right, I'm just gonna pull off these leaves here. Same goes for the thyme. This smells so good. It's gonna make me sneeze though. This coriander is probably gonna go right through the mesh, so I'm gonna tie that on top just so I don't lose it while I'm tying it, which I still might. Oh yeah, the spiciness and the herbs. The coriander is absolutely falling out of my little package, which I had a feeling it would. I'm also going to cut just some of these little threads off of the top here. There's really no loose ones, but I just want to make sure. I'm just going to pop this in, get it coated with the oil. There we go. So this goes into the oven. I believe it said an hour. Let me just confirm before I walk away, because if that's the case, I should have time to run to get my things. 1.5 hours. Okay, so now this is going to get covered with plastic wrap, then aluminum foil, so it will steam really well inside this roasting pan for an hour and a half at 325. Then I will carefully peel off the covering because it will be hot with that steam, and then it gets roasted for about another, or cooked for another half hour. So I'm just going to put this over the top. Not very sticky. And that, the aluminum foil will help keep this sealed in nice and tight. I just want to make sure there's no plastic that's going to touch any of the heating elements or just the grating of the oven. Okay, there we go. And then we'll come back, take the cover off, then we'll have some soup later. Right now, I'm writing down some of the ingredients that I don't think I have in the house or in the cabinet. I'll confirm, and then what I do need, I will pick up shortly after the floors arrive. I have a hook inside the door here, and we always have paper and usually a pen. I don't know where the pen went. And any time that we do need something, or if we've used something up, we add it to the list. So I added the things that I need today to a list that was already hanging inside the door. I finally got on the road, but I had to shut off the oven and leave the vegetables inside due to my time. I don't know, It could just be me. I might be picky, but I think the grocery store needs to remove these 2 bags of light brown sugar. And then I'm all for wine, but blue wine? I love blue cocktails, but I think I'll pass on the blue wine today. I had to stop at the office, so I thought I would share some of the new items that arrived. Please feel free to fast forward if you are not interested in this part. So these would be awesome on a wreath, on a door, on the sides of a mantle, but they're huge. I thought I would show you some of the products here in the office that just came in, and then I'll bring a few things home. But we have this Made in USA products. We're really trying to focus on Made in USA, Made in New England, handmade. There's some things that will be imported, of course, but little by little, we're going to start going back to our old school ways and things we started with. So we do have a natural laundry wash, dish soap, and then many of you already are familiar with this. They're cutting board tonics, furniture tonics. These are something that we always have. If we run out, we do get more. And then we have kitchen cleaner, hand wash, and then also a dog wash. Down below here, we do have little dish scrub brushes. Once again, these are made here for us. I have to check about this one. I don't know if this is made in USA, but if not, it's a USA brand. And these are made, I believe, Pennsylvania. I'll have to confirm that, but these are made in USA, as are these beautiful brushes. These are the type that I remember my mother and my grandmother had and used. These are going to stand the test of time. And then we also have metal dustpans. I have gone through so many plastic dustpans. Once again, made, let's see here, made in the USA. So we have that. Now let me show you a couple other things. A lot of our artwork is coming back in that we are replenishing, such as this whaling print. And let's see, another one that just came in, somebody was waiting for, and luckily they came in. We have our adopted gentleman here. And then we have her. This is a new one. I don't have the names in front of me. I do have them, though, written on the website. And then for Willow, I got these. We have this cute little chipmunk, cottage core feel to it. And these are all made for us in the USA. So if they sell out, I will get more. It's just, it takes time because it takes time to make them. Same with this, made in USA. This one is in brass, and it's a cute little squirrel. And let me see what else came in that's new. I couldn't resist this one. This is test tubes full of the 5 teas that I tried at the Boston Tea Party Museum. And these are exactly the ones that I tried. So I thought that would be fun. We do have several boxes of these, and if they go well, we will certainly order more because this is one of our favorite tea companies that we like to work with. Another thing that's new in the shop, white hot chocolate. This was something I was going to put in the Christmas box this year, but I ended up selecting something else. So I do have a few of these available. And if they go well, once again, I might get more. But I love white chocolate, so I can't wait to bring this one home. Actually, this is coming home with me tonight. Now, these are all wrapped up safe and sound, but we have some electrified lighting. These are also made in USA. I will try to put another photo of this better just from the website. And I also have some lanterns. Let me show you that. Well, actually, I'd only be showing you the bubble wrap, but we'll put those up. But we do have these. I just want to keep them nice and wrapped up. It's hard to see them here, but inside is a lantern, and it has a glass hurricane globe. And these sit on counters, mantles, shelves. So it's more for sitting, and then the cord comes out at the back. So I should specify, this is a plug-in where the wall ones are hardwired. This is also a Massachusetts brand. We have some soaps that are white spruce, perfect for the winter. This isn't new, but we have a few of the honey soaps left. This was in the fall box. I have some things that I've broken up with the fall box. I Don't know if I have any left. We might have 1 or 2 available for the full box, but if not, we have a few things such as these. Coming back to the Koala Echo, we also have an aromatherapy duo, and this is pillow and linen spray and room spray. These are a lot of things that would be perfect for Christmas presents. I think this is going to come home with me as well. I'm hiding a mess here. We have quite a bit. We have just been packing and packing and packing, so we've got a mess. I'm just going to walk down here. What my daughter has been organizing is our box area. This is where we do a lot of our wrapping, and I'm hoping in a week or so we'll be able to show you the studio all cleaned up and done again. Once the office is cleaned up, I'll do another walk around for potential Christmas gifts. But we have so many wonderful things. We have gardening bags and gardening gloves, and we have hose. These are UK, and then paint books. I have to load these up. We have our paint books with paints that I love to use. But there's a lot here. I have a lot. I just don't want to scan around the room because I also have some of the Christmas box items out and about, and I don't want to give that away yet. I do have something else to show you, and it's not the mannequin wearing some greens. These wreaths came in, and I cannot wait to hear from those of you who have already purchased them. But when I saw these, I was like, yes, 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 yes. This is definitely something I wanted to share. This wreath is natural products, and it is made in the USA. Perfect for the holidays, but this would be one you'd want to have undercover. Don't put it outside like on a garage or something exposed, because you want to keep this nice and dry. So it would be great for a covered porch or inside, and it comes in a wood crate so you can pack it away again for next year. Isn't that pretty? We have oranges, pine cones, berries, and some juniper here, magnolia leaves, cinnamon sticks. Very pretty. All right, I think that's it. I just got back from grocery shopping. Thought I'd stop here, and I had to get a few things. So now I can go home, finish off the soup. I don't think I'll have time to make the cake. Who knows? I might get a second wind, and we'll go from there. I don't know if it's going to show, but the electrician and our contractor hung a temporary chandelier up for us so we could see height and lighting. It might not be dark enough, but maybe we'll be able to see it. I'm gonna put my window down here. I just wanted to see how it falls in line with the window, but being on a hill, it's gonna change wherever somebody is standing. I don't think, oh, we do see it. Oh, it might be perfect. Oh wow, there it is, our round chandelier. Not bad. It's off center because they just hung it temporarily, but I can't wait to see what it looks like inside. It's so beautiful out. We're losing our colors though. When the sun hits it, wow. Well, it's many hours after I started this project. Just like I thought, I got called out to do something else, and then the day got ahead of me. I did shut the oven off before I had to leave the house. So this has been in the oven. It's not nice and steaming hot like I was hoping, but that's okay. We're not going to be eating it right now anyways. I'll warm it up. So what I'm going to do is get rid of the little sachet of herbs here. Just put it in the sink. Just give it a good squeeze out. And I'm also going to take out the jalapenos because I tested the flavor of just the oil here in the pan. It's quite spicy. So, all right. Oops, what did I just do? A pen. I'm a little disheveled. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can pour this in here without it getting all over me, and then we will whiz it up. Get the liquid out first, and then I'll scoop it. My angle's wrong. Okay. So as you saw, the way I made this today, it is completely lactose free, but if you wanted, you could add a little bit of sour cream. That's delicious too. So let's see what we have here. You could also just add a little more vegetable broth if you wanted. You might hear Willow whimpering in the background, but because Ben just got home with Emma and she wants to see them. I don't like making messes, but that's a kitchen, right? All right, so I'm going to keep doing this. I'll warm it up a little bit and then I'm going to serve it. I first have to pop some bread in the oven, warm it up, and then we'll enjoy this. This came out so good. I did add salt, so I'm going to remember to add that to the website. I'm also going to modify the website recipe to include the amount of tomatoes I put in and also the peppers because this tastes delicious. I'm going to share now my trip to historic Deerfield Village. I went here after I went to Sturbridge Village, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some of the outside of homes, and then I'll show you some of the interiors of some of the homes, and they don't go in a particular order. There was even some homes I did not get to go into because they have some guided tours that go on certain hours, and then some you can just walk in at your leisure. So I'm going to have to go back because there's probably 4 homes I did not get to go into. One thing I'd like to add about this village is that these houses were all here. This was an actual village. They didn't move the houses here or have some built to look like reproductions. These are the homes, and they have so many historic records of the families who lived here. It's very well done. Now in this tavern, one thing I want to point out, you're going to see some pipes soon. Some pipes are longer than the others. What tavern goers would do is they would grab a long pipe, and after using it, they would snap it off and put it back for the next person. And then this is a punch bowl, an actual punch bowl. They would drink from this. And he told a story about a couple that each had a bowl and then went off a riding. Must have been pretty hysterical. And I've shared this in the past, monograms on items, especially on napkins, were to show whose napkin was whose because they didn't wash them every night. So they would use their napkin night after night. The owner of the tavern, his wife and children all slept in this one room, and they had one room upstairs for guests. And then guests also slept in the hallway.
So that's the acoustics of the room. It's really nice in here.
The past owner of this particular house had a little more money than some of the others in the village. They had floors that were made with painted sailcloth canvas, a turnstile stove with different pots, beautiful wallpapers throughout, and fabrics as well. This little hidden door is showing how they used to replicate the wallpaper. There's the old one, and here's the new one. The same was done for fabrics. In this home, they actually had some of the fabrics from the previous owner. Across the street, there's a different house.
It's not as elegant, it's from a different era, but it is a little more refined than some of the other homes. And here's a fun fact now that it's October. Family and guests would share bedrooms with pumpkins and turnips that were being stored for winter meals, and they would often be used going right into spring.
This is not my norm. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. I can't sleep. I have to come up with a design plan to make the front of the tub panel removable so that if we ever have to access pipes and whatnot. So I have my grid paper out, my pencil, my ruler, and I think I have an idea. I just didn't want to sleep through the night and potentially forget my thought. So I made myself some herbal tea, and I'm just going to sketch for a little bit, and then I'll head back off to bed. But I'm all wrapped up and cozy right now, and who knows, I might fall asleep here on the sofa, but that's okay. I'm in my cozy space. All right, I have to get to work before I forget what I was thinking about. It's still dark out, but things are moving along. Our bedroom has bathroom cabinets in it. Willow got some new stairs because she's starting to get a little achy. We think arthritis, we don't know, but we got her some stairs. And this is some of the flooring over here. Right there, that is the mirror that used to be in the bathroom, and I have something to show you. Instead of buying the fancy schmancy expensive medicine cabinet, which really didn't work well with this room, I asked the builder if he could make us a medicine cabinet using the mirror that was here on the wall when we bought the house. And he did. He has soft close hinges on it. I'm gonna see if he'll put them on before he leaves for the weekend so I can show you, but if not, you'll probably see it in a week or two. But he made this cabinet for us. We can do the shelves wherever we want. I still have to pick out the sconces. The wiring is here behind the wall. The shower is getting ready to be tiled. I'm just working on what size I'd like the shelf to be for the shampoos and the soap and things like that. All the shower fixtures have been held. The commode is now outside in the backyard. I don't know why that's still there, but it is. The windows have all been put in. They've been trimmed out as of yesterday, so all of that is done. Over here, we are getting ready for the tub enclosure to be put in. We're just waiting for the plumber to remove these, cap them off. Now, what's being put up here around the back and the sides is a faux wood that is waterproof. So this will wrap the tub, because at Groton House, some of you might remember, I had marble. It was just a little bit too cold for me. And what I'm going to be doing is making this look like paneling all around the room, just some raised woodwork. So he's putting this in. Once this plumbing is gone, then he'll start building the deck to put the tub in. And let's see, I have my dates here. On November 3rd, the Granite and Marble Company is coming to do a template, and on the 12th of November, everything should be installed. And by then, the floor will be in, the shower will be done. It will pretty much be down to painting if need be. And I think I'm going to leave a lot of the painting until the bathroom is done. They have been doing priming for us. So here's just a primer on the wall versus the old sponging that was here, probably from the early 2000s. And I think the ceiling, yes, the ceiling has also been primed. They still have a light to also put in here over the commode and also the shower light. So it's getting there. Now there was a molding all along the top, and I do love having molding in the house, but we took it off for now because we have tile that's going all along this wall right to the ceiling, and we also have shower glass that will be going this way and then back, return to the wall. We were just trying to figure out stopping and starting the molding, or when I say we, mainly me, I wasn't sure if I wanted to have a strip of wood all the way up or what we're going to do yet. So I just asked them to remove it, which I think they were pleased, because now they wouldn't have to match the old molding and create a new one. So it kind of saved some work for them and also saved on labor. But that's where we are. Once again, once they're all done, I'll have to come in and scarify these and then prime it with a paintable primer that, these are oil. I want to put latex over it because I just don't want to use the oil paint. And we're going to go from there. All right, I left my little drawing here with my note. So yeah, moving along. Moving along. This is probably one of my favorite parts right here.
I'm making a maple walnut bourbon cake. Now, the recipe's not on the blog yet, but it will be. And I don't believe I said the ingredients out loud, but I will put it on the blog, I promise. I'm getting ready to whiz up some walnuts, and I'm going to do it enough so that they're very well ground up, almost a little moisture showing, almost like sand. I'm just combining all of the dry ingredients that will be put into the food processor in a moment. Then I'll be doing all of the liquids, and those will go in first with the walnuts. So I did a little backwards, but that's okay. I'm doing it in the sequence of adding it to the food processor the way it should be. I just want to scrape down the walnuts here, and then I'm going to add my liquid ingredients. So right now I'm adding some eggs, and I'm going to follow that up with some buttermilk. And I know brown sugar is not a liquid, but that is what the recipe called for at this time. Now the recipe does not call for bourbon, but the other night Ben asked me to make a rum cake or a bourbon cake, and I said, well, I can just add a little bit of bourbon to this one. I also have some of our Sugarwood 1790 vanilla going in, and then also, of course, we have some New England maple syrup. Now that I have to get rid of my sticky fingers from the maple syrup, I'm going to mix this all together, and what I like about this recipe is I get to do it all in the food processor. No mixing bowls, just the food processor. Now it's time to put in the dry ingredients. I'm going to mix it up, and then I'm going to pour it into my 2 pans. And the 2 pans that I'll be using, I've had those for 2 years, and I haven't used them, but I bought them to make Boston cream pie someday, and I'm going to do it. I promised myself that, and I promise you that. I've never made it before, but I'm going to give it a go. While the cake is in the oven, I figured I would clean up all of the pans. I already have something in the dishwasher, so I'm going to do this all by hand, and then I will have the food processor ready to make the frosting after the cakes have cooled. Time to dry everything, and with the time lapse, the cakes are done. After the cakes have cooled, I'm going to remove them from their pans, and then I'm going to let them cool a little bit more and prep them for frosting. I'm going to use the pan as my guide. Since the knife is not long enough once I get to the middle, I'm just going to spin the cake pan around and get this as level as possible.
I've been walking around looking for one of the 3 Lazy Susans. I want to use it to spin the cake to do the frosting. I knew this one was here. If I can't find the others, I will be taking this apart. But while I'm here, I might as well show you what I have here. So we have the garland, similar to the one, or exactly the same as the one I have around the window. And then I have some live pumpkins mixed in with the faux, and then I have some paper pumpkins. I got these at Robin's Nest, and I got the ribbon at Robin's Nest. I thought it was very pretty, so I put those on there. And I have my brass pheasants. So hopefully I'm not going to have to resort to take this apart to frost my cake. I'm going to search just a little longer. I'm getting ready to make the frosting, and I'm wondering, does anybody else need to do this with their metal bowls? Whenever I go to put my softened butter in there and make frosting, the bowl is so chilly many times that it coagulates and it gets cold again. I don't remember this happening in Groton. I don't know if it's because I have this on an exterior wall. It shouldn't make a difference. We have a lot of insulation in here now with the remodel. But I put hot water in here and I let it get warm so that when I put the butter in, it doesn't get all cold and clumpy again. Another thing I would love to know, who has the lift up mixers? Because I'm starting to realize that pushing this down in the back is getting harder and harder over the years. And I didn't know if lifting it up was easier, if the bowl was attached, how that happens. I've only seen this style. But please let me know your thoughts about the ease of lifting the paddle versus my putting it on this way.
Now it's time to make the frosting, which is cream cheese, butter, maple syrup, and vanilla, and of course, confectionery sugar.
I didn't find the Lazy Susan I was looking for, but I did find this one that I've had in a spice cabinet, so I'm going to use this. I have 4 pieces of parchment paper on there so that I can pull them out after I do the frosting, and it will be on the dish. So let me go get my first piece. I should have put a little cream cheese right under where this pan's going to go to hold my papers. I'm going to do that. It's going to keep fighting me. I'm just going to take this off for a second. Just going to put a little bit here. There we go. That way it won't wiggle on me. Will that one too? Might be harder to pull out. I don't know. That works. Well, it's better this way. I don't know. Now let's see if I ruined my chances of pulling this out by using too much frosting. That won't come out. Here we go. Voila! In haste, I forgot to toast my walnuts. It's going to be just as delicious. I could even done the praline walnuts, but next time. So when I serve this, I'm going to do a little drizzle of maple syrup. I'll be cutting into this after I serve the soup tonight.